Curious to know what's on the mind of today's teens? Listen in on this innovative conversation. Teens, hear the thoughts of your peers. Parents, heed the wisdom of your teens. Join us for Roundtable Talk, a teen's perspective. So, first of all, thank you, ladies, for joining Roundtable Talk, a teen's perspective. So, and this is just an open conversation. You're going to talk to your teens, and you're going to talk to parents about what's going on in the lives of today's teens.
Okay.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Yes. Great. I am too. All right. So I want to have a conversation, just lighthearted. We're not going to talk about anything too deep. There's nothing going to be graded. You're not going to be judged. But we just want to let your teens know what's going on in today's times. Want to let parents know, what are some things that they can do better as parents. From your perspective, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. So, but we want to speak to your peers, speak to your parents, or the parents of the peers. Sound good?
Yes.
Sound like something you could accomplish? Again, we appreciate it. We want to be altruistic. There's no right, no wrong. So, I'm going to open up with something light, something that all teenagers seem to thoroughly enjoy, and that is social media. It's very popular, apparently. Parents like me don't understand why it's so important. Like, what is the purpose of selfies?
So you can have that one picture of just yourself.
Yeah.
Show off your look.
Yeah.
But you got your
look
hairstyle, you look good.
So why do you have to take so many?
You got to
find the right
one.
Okay.
Take multiple,
right.
pick the right one.
You gotta have the right selfie.
It's a whole process.
It is. It's a process.
It's a process.
Okay. So explain to me the process.
Well, first you gotta have the right lighting.
That's
what matters the most.
thing.
Yeah.
Lighting.
The lighting.
And then comes the angle.
Yeah, the angle. Then your smile.
Yeah.
Face.
You gotta do multiple facial expressions. The smile, the no smile, turn your head a little bit.
Right.
Smile.
I do that.
So you bring up a very good point, because I always wonder when I'm shoulder surfing, like, why is it that all pictures have either the tongue out or a kissy face,
Yeah, that's my
or throwing up the sign, just...
You gotta do something. I can't speak on the tongue. I don't really do the tongue. I don't like the tongue.
It's just an expression.
Yeah.
Of, like, happiness, I guess, and joy.
I don't know why we
Okay.
do it. It's just something that comes natural, I guess. Right.
Oh, okay, because I see that on a lot of pictures. Like, a lot of whatever. And then, which one is more important, Snapchat or TikTok?
TikTok right now.
I don't use TikTok, but Snapchat.
I used to be on Snapchat, but TikTok's a bit more funny, more entertaining. Snapchat, people post
I prefer
stuff.
TikTok over Snap.
Why? Help me. I'm a Snapchat user, but I'm starting to hear more and more about this TikTok stuff.
Snapchat, you're just looking at people that you know. It gets boring.
It gets boring.
TikTok, you have a whole variety.
Like people, they're dancing, they're making videos.
It's
they're
funny
making
videos. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
And then it categorizes what all you like.
Yeah. You can pick what you like. It'll be fun.
Trust me, it's better than Snapchat. It really is.
I don't be posting none of those, so.
Exactly.
You just be on
Okay. I barely post on Snap.
So now, do you feel pressure from your peers to get a TikTok?
Yes, well, I was feeling pressure before because, for peers, because everybody is like on TikTok and I'm not, so it's like I'm lame.
Yeah,
I
but I wasn't on it at first.
But are you really lame because you're not on TikTok?
Yes.
Everyone has TikTok.
Like TikTok,
Everybody
there are inside jokes in the TikTok. So if you just say inside jokes and you don't know the inside jokes.
Right. Like if I say something to my friend and they don't get it, I'm like, I know you're not on TikTok.
I have the perfect example. When I went up there to hang out with them before, they was talking about the Bang Yang song. And I'm like, they was like the Bang Yang. I'm like, what? What is that? And then I saw the video finally, because they post what they post on TikTok on Instagram. Yeah. So I got to see it through Instagram. And I'm like, oh, and I take the group chat. I'm like, the Bang Yang. Like years later, you was so late.
Yeah.
And we was
at that point, it's not even that funny.
Exactly, it's not even funny. I thought it was hilarious.
But it's still, just TikTok is better. It's just, it's better in my opinion than Snap, because you're looking at people that you know. You're looking at their lives, which gets boring. Then you look at
they're not entertaining us,
and they're not entertaining. Exactly.
So TikTok is a way to stay more current with the times.
Yes.
So if I'm a parent who says you're gonna have to pick your social media outlets, and you're either gonna choose Snapchat or you're gonna have TikTok. You're not gonna have both.
TikTok.
So what would a parent need to understand? Because maybe you want to follow your peers, like your select group of friends on Snapchat, or then maybe you want to have TikTok as well. So what would you advise to a child who wants both?
Well, you
Because
can
you
still
say you're
have
still on Snapchat.
you can still have your small group of peers on TikTok if they have one. You can follow them.
But they'll make
If
content.
they don't
you're
get
not
content,
gonna
then
see
you
them.
don't see them. But at least you can like send funny
Send them
videos to
stuff.
each other
Yeah.
through TikTok.
Okay, so if I'm a concerned parent regarding social media, are there apprehensions or are there dangers on?
There's gonna be danger on
There's
every
danger
single
everywhere.
social media
Everywhere.
platform.
You just have to be smart about what you're doing. Like,
That's all it
yeah.
is.
Don't like just friend random people, of course. But I mean, like, and even if you're really a concerned parent and you want that relationship with your child, I mean, there's ways to talk to your child about it without being so harsh.
So what would you want to hear from a parent
I
have natural concerns about being on social media.
well,
As a
one, you
parent.
have to tell me. Like, as a parent, I need to know. You can't.
Yes, you have these
Like, parents can't just say,
Just
I don't want you to
snap
have
out
it just because
Yeah.
you can't have it. Like,
Yeah.
have a reason for your kid or for your child, or just have that conversation. That way, you have that open relationship about what it is that your child is doing on social media.
Okay.
And even if you have like a younger child, like, I mean, teen, either way, like 13, 14, you can also, like, I mean, if that child really, really wants that relationship with you and wants to have what they want to have, they will let you monitor it. If it really came down to that and you really like was concerned, just monitor it.
If you had a good reason. If you
Yeah.
had a good reason, we're
Yeah,
more
you
likely to
monitor
listen.
it.
But if you
Yeah.
just say
If
no,
you
and
just
say
say
no.
Yeah.
You can even be open enough to where there's parental controls. On
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
yeah,
you can't
so
go.
different.
There's
So my 16-year-old needs to be under parental controls.
I feel like when
no,
they're 16, you should have that relationship at least mapped out to where you should trust them enough that you raise them right to know that they're not gonna go out and do stuff like that on social media.
right, because at this point they're a few years from
Yeah, like
adulthood.
they finna be
so
an adult. You should trust them enough. You should.
there should be that line of trust and communication between you and your 16-year-old.
And that
With
they either
the
gonna
whole
do it or
social
they're
media.
not.
Yeah, they
honestly,
don't do it.
so-
They're not.
And sometimes, even with children, you have to let them learn on their own.
Yeah.
You have to let them learn on your own. You can't always breathe down their neck and say, no, you need to do this because I said it. Well, I can say it as many times as I want to, but it's really up to you to listen to what I have to say.
And even if you're a parent and you tell me not to do something, I'm
We
still
still
gonna
gonna
do
do
it
it,
because
we
like
gonna find a way.
you can tell me as many times as you want to how to do it, but if I'm mad up on my mind, I'm gonna go do it. Just let me fall on my own, cause I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna do it. Right.
I'm a fault, but I need you to pick me back up.
Right.
Okay.
And
so
I don't want to
but-
hear, and I told you
Just
so.
don't
I don't want to
right.
hear that.
Because then it's
Just
it's
hear
gonna be
that
like,
I'm here for you. I know you fell, but I
Yeah.
got you.
But then explain to me, this is why I told you not to do this.
Yeah.
because
Right.
that I told you so is only you gonna
Right.
get
It really
so many
is- that breaks
times,
the
It's gonna
and it's
say,
gonna break
like,
it down.
I'm gonna
Like,
shut
it's
you
gonna
out.
break
I
it
know for
down.
me, if you do and I told you so, I shut down and I just don't hear anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we telling you something and then you try to turn it to a lecture and then that's why I don't want to
Yeah,
tell you
That's why they
no
want to
more.
tell you it.
Yeah.
That's why they want to.
And like even when you're lecturing your child, like it's okay to lecture because I like to talk like out problems, but give me a turn to talk, not just
Yeah.
take it over and listen to what I have to say. Like don't just make me feel like your opinion is what's right and you're right and I'm wrong. Like listen to both sides.
And also start it off as like a casual conversation. Do not start off with nagging. Don't
Yeah.
start off with nagging.
Because then I already shut off.
Nagging is gonna just
like it's gonna
Okay.
be like
Right on my head.
it'll be quick okays.
yeah,
That's all-
okay,
that's all it's
you got
gonna
it.
be.
You want
And you won't get through to your
And
child.
you won't
At
get through
all.
to your child. Yeah.
Okay. So that covers a vast array of
All
parents
social media.
and well, no, that's more than social media. That's advisement. That's a variety of things. So listen. Okay. So parents, you want to hear advisement from parents, but it's how the information is presented. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay. So what a parent can learn from this conversation is that not peers, but teens actually want to hear what their parents have to say.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I can't. We can't speak for every.
Yes.
Not saying for
top
in general.
In general, yes.
Like we. Oh.
I'm curious to hear what my parent has to say. I'm just gonna be curious about it, but it depends on how it's presented to me. Because if it's presented to me in a harsh way, I'm not gonna receive it
at all.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's not necessarily how all parents feel. Some parents just feel like they're talking. The information is bouncing off a wall.
I mean, we probably sit there and look like we don't listen, but we actually
probably
do.
internalize
It's going in.
So we can reassure parents that
Yeah, we listen.
They
We listen to you. We just don't like.
It's hard for us to show because one, we're kids. we're already stubborn as it is, so we're not gonna want to show like. Yeah, she is right.
I would never
we're gonna think, we're gonna think,
right.
yeah, she's right, but on the outside, we just gotta be like,
Actually,
you gotta appear tough.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Just like parents when like tell their kids, because we have those parents that won't tell their kids that they're right. You have those kids that won't tell their parents that they're right.
Yeah.
Like whatever. I hear what you're saying, but okay.
Okay. Well, that's talking about social media. There's a variety. We talked about Snapchat versus TikTok, but there's a variety of other social medias, and we won't go into them all. So we just want to ensure, parents want to ensure, as a parent, parents want to ensure that their children are protected, because everybody on social media is not. Doesn't have the best interest of the child at heart. Everybody's not on social media just for giggles. So, and that as a parent, that's what we want to advise, because some people are on there pretending. There are, as sad as it is, there are predators on social media. So that's what we want to ensure that peers get across. So let's talk a little bit about talking to a peer, not just about social medias, but how do you talk to your peers? How do you apply? Because then I'm going to go off of you feel pressured. Now you got to get a TikTok because you feel lame without having one. So when we talk about the pressure from peers, what do you say to your peers? Not just about social media, but about the pressures of life, period. What do you say to your peers regarding school pressures to do things that they're not, drinking pressures, not doing your homework pressures, going out to the latest club pressures, being on social media pressures? What do you say to your peers about those pressures?
Well, like for pressures from like me receiving pressures from peers, it's like I'm gonna do what I feel is right, just because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But like I just feel like say if you're out drinking and smoking, if that's not my vibe, I'm not gonna do it. Like you can peer pressure me into doing it all you want, but if that's something like if I have a borderline story, because I know somebody that has like a underlying story of why they won't do stuff, I feel like you can't pressure nobody into doing something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
But like peer pressure, like if you're pressuring me into doing something and I give in, I feel like underlying, I already wanted to do it, and you just like giving me like confirmation to do it. So
I've never been pressured into doing something I actually didn't want to do. I always had like I kind of want to try it.
You just need a push.
Yeah, I need a little push.
Yeah.
And now.
But honestly, if you have your mind made up on something that you're not gonna do, it's really hard to peer pressure someone into doing it. Because I know with me, once I say no, it's gonna be a no. And if the more you ask me, it's gonna irritate me. And at that point, and now I'm mad.
Okay, so the four of you are very strong peers. When you make up your mind to do or not to do something, you're gonna do it. But every peer isn't as strong as the four of you. So what do you say to the peer that's not as strong as you? The one who really doesn't want to do it, but
they're doing it because they don't want to.
They want to be a part of the crowd. They want to just follow.
Exactly. So, and you, if you, let's drinking. So, underage drinking is something that happens. But you say, I'm not going to drink because I'm not old enough to drink, or I'm not interested in drinking, whatever the reason is. But you got another friend who's not interested in it, but they're leaning more to their peers.
Well, then as that friend, you should be by their side and be like, if you really don't want to do it, you don't have to. And if it's in a group setting, be that one friend that sticks up for the both of you and saying, we obviously don't want to do it, so we don't want to do it. Like sometimes the peers that seem a little weaker to the subject need that one person that is strong-willed and will like speak up and say like, no, this is not right.
Yeah.
But if they're by themselves,
They won't. They'll just get.
they'll
Or trying to, like,
follow the crowd.
change it, like, oh, I don't want to drink, I'll be your designated driver, that type
Yeah,
of thing.
like,
And then
oh,
they're like,
You
okay,
can always
Like,
alternate
switch it
who
around,
it is,
yeah.
who it could be, or what you'll be. Instead of saying, "Oh, I don't want to drink because that's just something I don't want to do," you could say, "I'll go out with you guys, but I'm not drinking because I have to be responsible for whoever
Yeah.
else is."
Okay.
And they'll lay off. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can drive. Like, yeah, I can drive. Go ahead, do it.
So that's drinking. That's kind of. I'm not gonna say that's an easy one because peer pressure does exist for doing something that you're not supposed to.
Mhm.
But what about peer pressure and doing something that you are supposed to, like asking for help?
I ask for help.
So, do you ever feel pressured not to ask for help, even when you need it?
Yes, because I know in my mind, I think I need to figure it out on my own. I can't always go ask for help. Because sometimes I'll realize in this world, it is just going to be me by myself. So I'm not always going to have that person to help. So let me learn it on my own first. And then if I'm really struggling,
Yeah.
let me go ask someone. But it's going to take a minute for me to go ask for them because I'm just stubborn.
I'm the opposite. See, I want help. Cause like I don't know. I'm like that. But to me, I wouldn't ask for help if I feel like I'm bothering a person. And it's like, it's not always easy to tell you're bothering a person because somebody could tell you, oh, there's no problem, like you're not bothering, but and deep down inside they're like, I wish this girl would stop asking me this, or I wish this girl would stop doing this and that. And it's like, well, if I feel like that, I'm just not gonna ask, and I'm just gonna follow struggle basically.
Because that's sometimes how it is. Like you don't want to come off as overly needing help all the time, and I understand that because I have friends that I ask for help all the time, and then I feel bad because I'm like, geez, I'm asking them questions every 5 minutes. Like, I'm not giving them a break. But at that point, I got used to it. I was like, either you're going to help me or you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
And if not, I'll just go find someone else to go help me.
But there's a part of me, too, that feels like that, too. Like, my mind went blank. I forgot what I was about to say.
So my concern is for peers who want help, but feel pressured not to ask for it. Like their peers look down on them getting help from teachers regarding school.
I hate that
so much.
Because
if you really need it, just ask.
Yeah.
They might look at you crazy, but if you passing them tests, then that's what
Exactly.
happens.
Right.
I'll ask.
Like, I know that feeling when you're in class and you just went over the subject and the teacher's like, does anyone need help? And you're that one hand that shoots up because you need help, and everyone's like, we're really trying to get past it. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I need to pass this class. That's all that matters. I don't care if you feel like you know it. I don't. So let me get my help.
So what advice do you have for that team?
Ask for it.
Ask for it. And for
Right.
the teams that like have an attitude when that person asks, my thing to them would be, if you have a problem with somebody asking and you see somebody struggling, why don't you go help that person? That's the better, like, instead of getting my attitude and being like, oh my God, I wish she would just get it. If you get it, go teach her how to do it.
Hear my notes.
It's not hard. If you're that one team that looks at the one person asking for help thinking, oh my goodness, like, it's not that hard. If it's not that hard to you, then try and go teach it from your perspective to them. Because obviously they're not grasping onto what the teacher has to teach, the way that they're teaching it.
And it might even be easier learning from somebody your age.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good, because we have those out there too that just, they're struggling in school or they're struggling with whatever because they won't ask for help. And waiting too long,
And then
It's not gonna help.
your grade doesn't get any better.
right, and then it's hard to dig yourself out. So the advisement is you advise those students to just say, go get the help that
Put
you need.
yourself first.
You know, don't succumb to the pressure of struggling because you think you're going to look bad. Because that's not helping you in the long run.
Yeah.
So that's what
And
I'm
even
hearing.
if you don't want to ask in front of your peers, wait till the end of
After
class.
class.
Ask the teacher then. Like, come after school.
'Cause they'll be glad to help
ways
you.
that they can help you.
Yeah.
If you don't want to.
They'll make the time to help you. If
Yeah,
you
if
really
they see
need
you
it.
really willing to learn, they'll take the time out.
And that'll help you in the end. Like, if you need a grade bump.
Yeah, like if you need a
and
grade
like,
bump,
you're trying
like
to
you
come
tried.
back.
If you were that one student
Yeah,
that
like,
asked
you children like this.
Nah, but if you that student that don't know, but you cutting up in class.
Yeah,
Exactly. Then they'll be like, well, why should I help you?
Right.
Yeah, you weren't helping yourself.
So you have to think about both ends. Don't be the class clown.
Yeah.
And
Like,
think
it's
about
okay to have
in the
fun.
end.
It's okay to have fun in class, but you always need to make sure that you're getting your work done because in the end, it's really up to the teacher.
They're watching.
Yeah, they are, and it doesn't look like they are, but they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So what advisement do you have for those teens now in virtual learning?
Ooh, I ain't got nothing to say on that. 'Cause
I'm still trying to figure it out.
right, I'm trying to get through it myself.
Exactly. I feel like virtual learning now is just
It's hard.
It's hard.
Because everyone, to be honest, whenever kids are home, they're on technology.
yeah.
So
it's
if I have to
frustrating.
sit down in front of a computer and look
All
at
day.
a teacher all day, I'm not disciplined enough to sit there and do it because I'm too busy.
I'll be on
Being on
everything
everything.
else. I'll be
Because
on my
when
phone.
I'm at home, I'm used to being on my electronics.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just,
I did my homework at school because I know when I get home, my mind is shut off.
Yes.
So now I'm doing with school and homework at home. I'm like,
So you're not having fun.
No.
no.
So
No.
what can parents do to help in this?
It's really
What can we tell parents to say? We're doing homework at school. We're doing schoolwork at home. Our enjoyment time at home is not necessarily enjoyable because now we have school at home when this was our place of refuge.
Well, you can also incorporate breaks.
yeah.
If I was a parent, I would incorporate breaks in between that because I know if I know my child, I know they're not disciplined enough to sit down at a computer all day and look at a teacher. I'd incorporate breaks because sometimes they do need that mental break because they're in that mind of I'm at home, I can relax, I can do what I want to do since I'm home. Now I'm not at school.
It's really
So
not a
being
lot.
that parent, you got to do that.
It's really not a lot that they can do, but just be understanding. Like, listen, my grades aren't gonna be as good because
Yeah.
I'm not as
Nah.
focused.
I have that mindset
You
that I'm
just
at
gotta
home.
be like understanding, be open-minded to understand the situations that we're going through and stuff like that.
Because it's
Especially your
hard.
hands-on learning too, and everything is
Yes.
straight
Yes.
visual.
Everything's straight
It's
visual.
hard.
Because I know for me, I gotta touch it.
Yeah, because some subjects you have to be there, like in the presence of the teacher, to get it.
Because for some students, it's not easy doing it online. And then some students honestly use school as an outlet to get away from home. So
And
now
it's
they're
all
stuck
there.
at home with work and with whatever is going on at home. They're really struggling.
Yeah, because you're dealing with everything in the
And
environment. Yeah.
So you bring up a very interesting point when you said just be honest with your parents and say, look,
Like,
my grades aren't going to be as good because fill in the blank.
Yeah.
My grades aren't going to be as good because
be online and it's harder. The work is harder, and they're really not teaching you
Right.
as good as they would if you're in
In
class.
okay.
So it's like they're giving you work on something that they brushed over in the lecture, and they want you to do it and get it right, or they just it's not.
Like
And
it's
then that also
topic.
goes back to
You can be
open
online.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just open communication with your parents.
Yeah.
You also have to have that because if a kid is just shut in and not going to say anything, they're not going to tell their parents.
Why that their grades are bad?
Why at all?
Right.
They're just going to be like,
Your
I don't
parents is gonna
know.
be like, what happened? Why you got a C? Why you got an F? Why you got this? Why
But you got to
got
have that open line of communication with them too.
Yeah.
You have to have that. You have to have it open to say, hey, you're not gonna like what I gotta say, but my grades may not be the best that they were before
Exactly.
because you know I am at home.
I'm at home.
I don't have that mindset of being
Right.
at school, so
Exactly.
And think about it as work, you know, you online,
You at work.
and you
Yeah.
struggling at work. We saw you struggling on the computer, you know what you was doing. That's the same for us here. We struggling. So.
Yeah, like,
we're all
so
struggling.
they're not alone because
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
easy.
it's not easy.
But maybe not tell them like that.
Yeah, don't say it like that.
You
You
got a
gotta-
little
yeah.
more.
You gotta come off as
Childly.
understanding.
Yeah.
Be like,
Okay.
you know, my grades.
Don't be like, I saw you struggling
I
at
saw
your
you
job.
Right. 'Cause
They don't be like,
Not your life.
am I dumb?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was really trying. I thought I was doing really good. And then you just said the one, nope, no, it didn't look like it. I'm like, well, geez.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, peer pressure to do things to do the right thing, asking for help. You got peer pressure to do the wrong thing. So how does this type of peer pressure ever bubble up into feeling overwhelmed at times?
Yes.
So how do you deal with when you feel overwhelmed? Like you got this digital learning, you've got social distancing, you've got, you know, the things that peers are interested in doing are closed or restricted. and that's becoming overwhelming, how are you dealing with that?
I take breaks. Either I'll need a break from the whole world, and I'll go outside and like take a walk. I sleep.
Oh yeah.
Sleep helps with a lot of my issues, but honestly, it's just I have to take time to myself and realize like this is not working for myself. So let me remove myself from the situation, and so I can fix myself and not take out whatever overwhelmingness that I'm feeling on anyone else.
And also stroll outside helps, just get out of the house,
get that fresh
stuck
air
in there.
I always tell myself that I'm like one person, like I'm dealing with all this, and what me trying to please everybody else around me and dealing with everything else I'm dealing with, I can't do all of that. I'm not perfect, so we're gonna make mistakes, and just have that pep talk with yourself, like it's okay, like everything's fine.
You're gonna push through.
Shed tears, because I know I'm a crybaby, but
shed tears.
Okay.
Crying helps too.
Crying helps.
It does.
Crying does help. So, but it's just, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take breaks from everybody.
As long as you don't stay like in that little, have your moment, but you gotta get out of the moment.
Don't stay
in the moment.
Like you can be like, I can have my little sobbing moment. Then you gotta be like, okay, I gotta get myself
together.
Right?
Yeah.
Like let's finish what I started, and then it'll be done and over with.
So are you always able to pep talk yourself out of it?
Not all the time.
Sometimes you gotta text
you
your friends and call
another
someone.
person.
Okay, so sometimes you have to talk to people. So
Talk it out.
because issues, even in adult life, issues can bubble up into like depression and being withdrawn and socially distant. So do you have those? Do you not like a diagnosis of depression or perpetual depression, but do you have
like
bouts with depression?
Oh yes.
I think as teenagers we're all gonna be battling with that like borderline depression just a little because we're teens. We're going through peer pressure. We're going through school. We have all this lined up, and we have to figure it out all on our own. We can ask for help, but it's really always up to us.
Yeah.
Since it is just us. And you can have that one outlet to talk about your issues with, because it'll help. But at the end of the day, you're looking at just yourself in the mirror. You're not looking at anyone else.
Okay, so when you say we got to figure out this all by ourselves because we're doing it alone, like how you navigate that? Tell me what's an example of like a depressive situation that you have to navigate on your own.
Okay, virtual learning. I'll say that, virtual learning. With virtual learning, you just feel like everything's piling up at one time because when you're in a classroom setting, you're used to these due dates and
it's written everywhere.
It's in your face.
And
virtual learning, it's up to you to remember.
Like they'll put it on the calendar on the screen, but you don't be looking at that screen. You have to go to the call. You have to go to the assignments tab. The calendar is the front.
I'll be so used to just looking up on the whiteboard, seeing whatever's coming up.
And the teacher will tell you like to be in the class. Look at the whiteboard. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to look for.
And stay there so you internalize.
But virtual, no.
It's no whiteboard.
It's all up to you, and it can become overwhelming. And then whatever environment you're in, that can become overwhelming to where you shut down from the world, and it's like.
And then your computer start acting up, and
and just whenever you hit that stage, it feels like everything in the world is just falling apart.
Okay.
So with that, it's just
I just shut my computer, go to bed.
So we use the word depression, and some people we use it lightly. Sometimes we use it lightly. So, but I'm just using it, and I'm gonna interchange the word depression with just feeling blue. So like depression, feeling blue, that's something that's very real for you because as a parent, I'm a parent. I say feeling blue or depression, you don't have no job. You know,
that's so annoying. That's so annoying. Like I'll be like, I'm tired. What you tired from?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, you go to the job. Okay, so in my mind, a job, even though you're not doing the same thing, and school is the same thing in my mind. Even though I'm not getting paid for it and you are. Like, that's your motivation. That's your motivation to do it. I don't have no motivation to go to school other than to get to school, go to another school.
Right.
No, no.
And it's just bad. It's bad when parents are just like, you stress.
What you stress from? You don't do nothing.
Like what are you stressed for? I'm stressed because
I go to work, I clean the house. Like they be like, I go to work, I clean the house. Your cleaning the house is my homework. Like I go to school, I do my homework. That's your cleaning the house. Then I cook dinner. okay, like we get it, you're tired too, but we can be tired.
Right.
Like
It can be
you're not the
overwhelming.
only one that's gonna be tired. We all get tired, we all get overwhelmed, we all feel blue. But you telling us that we don't have no reason to, that's really what make it worse.
And makes us not want to talk to you. Like, we want to open
my
up.
It's just like, well, I guess I ain't got nothing to worry about.
I know, I guess I'm just, I don't got nothing
Am
to
I
worry about.
overreacting?
Like, yeah.
My thing for parents though, that is like this. I just want parents to take in consideration what their child is really like going through. Like,
Yes.
yeah, you go through like basically what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
what you
Yeah,
you go
you
through
gotta
stuff,
work.
but we go through stuff too.
Too.
Like, don't just think, oh, because we're kids, we don't go through anything. Because that's how a lot of parents miss
A lot of
their kids
signals.
going through
Yeah.
a lot of like depression and it leading into something much worse than what you thought it was because you're like, oh, she's fine.
You're
she ain't going
downplaying
through
it.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're making it seem like it's less than what it is, and we really could be telling you something. You
Right.
just have to listen.
And they always answer with that, I didn't think it was that bad.
But,
Right.
but it's like you didn't think it was that bad, but we've been telling you it was that bad. You've been
The signs are
downplaying
there.
it in your
Right.
mind. Like you've been downplaying it. We've been making it obvious.
And you don't see the big picture.
Yeah, you don't see it.
until something tragic happens.
We can always
Okay.
explain it to the best of our ability, but it's always up to
You
the
said
parents
it.
or you to take it. Like, you have to realize something is really wrong with my child. Like, so they're going through something and they need an outlet. And obviously I'm not being that outlet because I'm just saying, no, you're fine. You're not stressed. You have nothing to be worried about. It's
And we
just
might not
school.
say it like we might not say it in plain words. You might say it like what's it called? Like when you do it.
Like beat around the bush.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you'll beat around the bush about it, and then like you just have to read between the lines, basically.
Okay.
In my
Just
opinion,
know.
as a parent, look at your child's actions more than
Yeah.
look at their words. Because
Your
actions
actions.
speak louder than
You
words.
know your child. You watch your child grow up. You know how they act.
You
And
know
if you
their
see a
behavior
change in
for
how they
sure.
act,
That
that's your
sounds
time
right.
to start talking.
You're like,
what's
okay,
going on? You okay?
something's going downhill. I need to fix
But
this.
then also don't like jump down the throat about it
Yeah,
either,
just
because
be
then
calm.
they gonna shut off.
Because you don't want to be like, no, tell me what's wrong. You don't want to be in their face like that. And then it's going to make them not
Right.
want to tell you. You might want to be like, hey,
Yeah,
when you're
put me in the
ready,
car.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it based on
Yeah,
their
do
time.
it.
You can't do it on your time.
Just
Because
let them
it's
know
their,
that you're there.
yeah, let them know that you're there.
So what I hear you saying for parents regarding depressive episodes, you know, we all have our highs and we have our lows. So for parents, when there's a child who's having a low, I hear you saying, be observant.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen.
look for behaviors that are incongruent with their natural how they act. I hear you say, listen to what they say, listen to what your teen is saying, because in their own way they're trying to explain to you what's going on. I hear you say, be calm, don't overreact. And I hear you say, acknowledge that I have issues too.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm a teenager and I don't work and I don't pay bills and I don't have to make sure that my little kids are doing whatever, but I do have challenges in life. So acknowledge my challenges just as you are, because I'm working hard so that I can be successful.
Yeah.
That's what we as parents can understand about what's going on for you. I think that's great advisement for parents who are trying to cultivate a positive relationship. Now, what do you think about parents as friends or parents as parents? Is it a parent's job to be?
Wait, I have
I got
something else on the other topic.
Okay,
I
come
got
on.
something else.
I got some for that one though.
So on the other topic too, if we tell you something like that we going through, that's between me and you.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you don't
very good
have
point.
to. You don't have to let the whole family know.
Yeah,
that you're
Oh,
going
yeah,
through
don't go
something.
through that being
Because
like, let me tell you what they said.
Right. Or let me tell you what my child did.
Yeah, like,
the
don't
first
do
thing
that.
my mom does when I do something,
calls
she
us.
called my older brother, and then my brother called me. I heard what you did today. Well, what you did? Can I tell you what I did?
I got time to process it.
As a kid, I'm coming to my parent in confidence that you're not gonna
Just
say
tell
anything.
me.
Right.
I'm putting my trust in my words to you.
That you
To
won't
keep
go
it a
and
secret.
spread it on
Yeah.
the family, because
And
I
then
don't want to
you're
hear
right.
about it on the next little
I don't want to
family
hear about it
Right.
from Uncle Jimmy.
And I don't want
That's
everybody
right.
calling
And
me.
they can't.
You know, hey, I know this is what your mom said. This is what you're going through.
Like,
well,
what's
let me
going
tell
on?
you what. Yeah, like
And then it
Yeah.
becomes overwhelming because you're like, well, geez, I only
All
saw
these
one
advice,
person, and now I'm getting
right.
everyone's
Yeah, and now you got
perspective.
everybody in the family thinking like
Something's wrong
something's
with her.
wrong,
Right.
like, and it's probably just you going through something at that particular moment, and you bringing it up every time you see me, like
Yeah.
you still depressed, like you still struggling. It's not. It's
So bad.
no.
I honestly feel like
no.
if I'm telling someone and you're in the same house as me, that's all who needs to know. If you don't, if you're not in the same house as me, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
So if you tell mom shouldn't tell dad.
That's different.
That's
different.
It depends on what you're telling them.
It depends on what you're telling them. I think it
the
depends
parents
on
are
the situation.
different.
I feel like
because
it's like with a boy and a girl. If the female comes to us, their mother, the daughter tells the mother something, and has something to do with womanhood or like just feelings. I feel like that's something you can keep between the husband, not the husband, the mother and the daughter.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's something drastic, then that's when you have to bring the father in because I mean, y'all are both parents, but parents are assigned to different children. You know, like you know, like you have the daughter with the mom, the father with the son, because like the father can't teach the daughter how to be a woman. The mother can't teach her son how to be the man.
Parents,
unless they're like, you know, forced to. Like, I mean, any mother or father can step up and do what needs to be done. But just saying everybody in the household together, I don't think you would have to bring in the other parent because of the situation.
Yeah, unless
just depending on
it depends how serious.
Like for me, I'll tell my dad certain stuff. Like if I'll tell my mama first, or sometimes I'll tell my dad first, and then I'll tell my mom. It just depends on what I have to tell them, how I'm feeling, stuff like that. Yeah, it just depends. Like, but I don't want my mother telling my father, because if I wanted him to know, I would tell him.
Right, and then it's coming from their perspective.
Yeah,
I can tell you something in my perspective, but then you're going to go tell someone else from how you saw it. And then both of y'all are looking at me like,
so the main problem with that is that you can tell somebody something, and then the person's telling the next person, the words start to get twisted up.
Yeah,
so then it comes from the truth to what the lies to what is actually the truth. Because you're getting it from her perspective, but you never did hear it from the real person.
Right. Yeah, and then it just goes down the line like telephone, and then you're the person who knows the truth at the end, like, no one.
And nobody want to listen to you because they don't heard everybody else say one lie instead of one person say
exactly. And they're like, I don't need to hear anything else.
Yeah.
But you do, because I said it. I said what I said.
Like, don't be twisting my words.
So I just feel like there's certain positions for parents when it comes to their kids.
Yeah.
Like what you said, with a daughter and a mother, and with a father and a son, or a father and a daughter and a mother and a son. There's just certain things that should be discussed with the parents.
Yeah.
Depending on whatever gender. Sometimes I feel like with the son, if they don't have their father in their life, they can have that father figure.
Yeah.
They can have that, or that mother figure for everybody. But I just feel like with certain things, not everything needs to be discussed.
Like everything's just like I said what I said earlier, but a mother can teach the son some things that the father can't teach, like how to deal with women. Like
how to treat women.
But I mean, the father teaches the son that too. But with a mom, you get it from a women's perspective, so you can actually see.
Like,
like sometimes that's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work.
With both parent homes, you have both parents, so you get like that son, that father teaching his daughter, like, this is how a man should treat you.
Like,
but then you also have that mom with the daughter that's like, this is also how you should treat a man, or this is how you should take things, when you're in a relationship with someone. Same with the son, because in single parent homes, you only have that one parent. You only have that one perspective, like with anything. So with the son and the mom, you get how to treat a woman from a woman's perspective, but you always need that male's perspective of how to treat him. And same with a daughter and a dad. Like, a dad can treat his daughter perfectly. He's like, this is how a man should treat you. But a woman needs to also come in and be like, but this is also how you need to be treated. And this is how you need to treat a man. So that's how it all goes into. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process.
We go on for days with that.
Okay. So I'm going to deduce that down to the point of, because we went off a little bit down the rabbit trail. But when you're having a conversation with a parent, and even not a parent in the same house, if you live in separate houses, I live with one parent, my other parent lives in another house. So if I have that as my house, and you're talking to me about a serious issue, and I feel like I need to bring the other parent in, we need to have that conversation then. It's like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but we need to discuss this with whomever the opposite parent is. If I'm mom and I want to talk to dad, tell you first.
Right. Don't just go do it, because at that point I'm just like, well, geez, what was the point of me
But I
telling
feel like if it's something drastic, I feel like the parents should have a conversation together first, so that way the other parent knows how to react to the situation with the child.
Right.
Because if you're telling me, let's just use pregnancy, teenage pregnancy. If you're telling me that a dad, let's just say, because the dad's gonna explode, the mom would too. But you know, mom's easier because you know, mom's a female. So like, you tell dad, like y'all just together, and you automatically tell dad, and the daughter's just sitting there. He'll be like, he gonna go off. But you don't want the daughter to see that, because what you're saying anger, you can't take back.
Okay.
And I'm learning that more and more these days. Like, so you have to be very careful what you say. So I would say let the mom and the dad have a conversation first, then bring the child together, and then y'all all have a conversation. That way, the mom can also tell, or the dad, whichever parent knows, can let them know, okay, this is how she's handling the situation, or this is how she feels. So they have like kind of an idea of how to approach it without being so
right. And also with that parent, like you need to give that one parent time to like let out whatever they have to say, let out whatever anger, whatever it is, but only with that other parent, not towards the child. Because if you do it towards the child, not only is the child feeling like what I did was wrong, now it's coming on 10 times worse because I'm being yelled at about it and I already have feelings about it and I know that it's wrong.
And we are never going to forget.
I'm not going to forget what you said. Well, I'm not going to forget what you said to me because you were angry. And most things, people mean it when they're angry. People mean things that they say. It all comes out, but it comes out the wrong way, but they mean what they say.
Okay.
So it's just, it's a whole process. You just gotta when children tell their parents things and they want to bring in another parent, you just have to let them know. Like,
let me know.
You got to tell me your kid, like, first, I think I want to bring in the other parent. Are you okay with that? And if you're not, just be like, okay, well, we'll give it some time because eventually the other parent is going to have to know. So, but you got to. It goes based off how they're feeling at the moment.
Okay. So I hear you say open communication. Make sure you have honesty. Basically, it all boils down to honesty. So, and I'm going to circle back to when we're talking about honesty. So, there's an honesty between a parent and a child, and there's honesty between two friends.
Yeah.
So, from where you sit, as you know, you're in the crux of adulthood. You're older teens. We can provide advisement to younger teens. We can provide advisement to parents. But what's the relationship? From where you sit, what's the relationship that you should have with your parents?
So you talking about parent, friend, friend. Let me tell you about that. So my opinion, because I never agree with a child being friends with their parents, and I say a child because you're an adult when you turn 18, so you start making your own decisions. And to me, I don't see how parents are friends with their child anyway, because I shouldn't be doing what you're doing, and I'm 16 or I'm 15 or I'm 17. I'm not an adult yet, so we should not be friends. We should not be having the same conversations. There's a difference between having a relationship and we're building versus me and you hanging out in friendship. Yeah. So I feel like there's a time to parent and there's a time to be friends, like grow a relationship. And it's not even, because like even when you're older, I would never call my mom my friend. I mean, like it's a relationship.
I'm not gonna talk to her like I talk to my friend.
Yeah, like because you can be talking to your friend any kind of way. I would never talk to my mom how to talk to my friends.
Exactly. That's a good way to get pops.
You're right.
So when you're older, so when you're
18,
38.
I'm still not.
It's a different relationship.
There's a whole different like language barrier from when you're talking to your parents. When
some type of conversation you just not.
You don't have. Now there's one thing to keep like an open relationship with your parents to where you feel like you have that. You have that, like you're comfortable with having those conversations and saying that, but at the end of the day, you still need to see them as that's my mom child. Or my dad, not that's my friend.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no.
But I do feel like your relationship with your parent gets way. I'm gonna get this straight that way, because my experience when you get older, because like you just you have somebody. Like, I wouldn't listen to you as a kid because I never understood why you was making me doing all this or why you told me not to do this or why you wouldn't let me do everything I wanted to do. But now that I'm of age, I get it, you know?
Okay.
And I understand. like a lot.
Okay, good.
Right, like it makes more sense now that we're older. We're like, oh, so that's what she was talking about. Because at 14, I wasn't understanding it, but now I'm like, geez, she was not lying about this.
Okay.
We're like, okay.
You said you don't know.
Wait, what you said? What you mean?
When you just said I don't know.
When?
What about friend, parent? Oh, or you were just saying I don't know, like about a comment. Okay, I just wanted you to have your point.
There's just certain places for the conversations with your parents and with your friends.
So for teens who are like,
oh, I think I was saying I don't know because I didn't get the question. I was confused.
Oh, okay. So you're clear now?
Yeah, I guess.
So okay, then I will pose this question to you then. So let's see about the clarity. So for your peers who say, my dad can't tell me what to do. I have my own mind. They can't tell me what to do.
That's when you get knocked out.
You do have.
No, I'm saying your peers are telling you
come back and bite you.
Oh, your peers are telling.
So like, if you want to go to a party or whatever, you're going to a party. You're going to go do something, and a peer says, "I have to be home at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever."
At 10 o'clock or 11.
And then they say, "I'm not going home at 10 o'clock. I don't care because they can't tell me what to do."
I was that peer because my mom would. My other friends would get to stay out as long as they wanted to, and my mom was like, "Oh no, you're being in this house by such time," and I felt some type of way. Like I really, really felt some type of way because I'm like, they get to do that, and we're the same age. Like why? Like I just don't understand. As I got older, I did understand why she wouldn't want me out there at such a time. Like you understand as you get older. But I mean, like as peers now, I would just say, if your mama tell you to be in the house by a certain time, do it. Yeah. Like it's okay. It's okay.
That's what
I don't care if your friends call you lame. They call you, well, your mom doing too much.
Yeah.
So whatever. Your parents let you do what you do, and my mom lets me do what I do. Like, just be glad I get to come out.
You gotta be like, think about it this way. Like, okay, you come in this late now, but if you see that you doing that and you not arguing with her, you not being respectful about it, they might let you stay out a little longer, and then you can go out a little longer. So you just gotta be.
I always just be good.
Just be good.
My mom has a certain reason why I have to do
right.
it. Not like I used to feel like that. I was both parts. I was that friend that was like, man, I really wish I could stay out a little longer. And then when I would be with my other friends, I'll be like, man, I wish her mom would let her stay out just a tad longer. But now that I'm older, I realize like late at night, you don't know what can happen. Anything can happen at night or when you're with your friends or at a certain time. It's all based off safety.
And my mom always told me, she still tells me now, if you do everything at one point, like, let's just say when I was 16, I wanted to date, I wanted to have every social media I wanted to go do this, wanted to go do that. She's like, if you get everything at one point in time in your life and doing everything at a young age, you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, you know.
So when I was 16, and I wanted a tattoo, I knew when I turned 18, I'm getting a tattoo. Or when I was 14, I know when I'm 16, I'm gonna have my car, I can drive. Like I had stuff I was looking forward to. Versus if I was 16, my mom let me get my tattoo. Oh, when I'm turning 18, well, I've already had that. Or when I get this and that, and I'm like, oh, I've already done that. But it's like you don't have nothing to look forward to if you give your child everything at one point of time. Like
they have fun anymore.
Right, because you done experienced everything.
Yeah, at a young age, and you're just like, I've been there, done that.
Right.
Like, so for the 13 or 14-year-old, the new teenager that is just coming in.
My answer to them would be, your time is coming.
It's coming. When it comes, you'll be glad that you waited, because not only are you like you don't have to sneak and do everything, because that's how I feel.
It's not even fun at that point.
When I was 16, I was so happy when I turned 16 because like I don't gotta lie no more, I don't gotta cheat no more, I don't gotta stay.
I gotta sneak in.
Right. So despite what you did, the advisement to the new teenagers,
don't wait. Just wait. Your time is gonna come. And I promise you, it's worth the wait.
And if you get caught, it's not even worth it.
Right. You don't get beat. You don't have no phone
for no reason.
Right. And my mom had me carry a flip phone because I got in trouble so much. Like it's not worth it. I promise you. I ain't put my phone down in school.
Sneaking out, you can't even have fun, because if you be in the car, every car look at you.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's her.
When you come home, I bet you. So I never snuck out, but I just could imagine like coming home and having a fear in your heart, like, oh my God, my mom could be sitting in my bed waiting on me.
Exactly.
Or they'd be
Or you go to bed because you're like, okay, I did it.
Right.
Do they know? Do they know?
Right. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to get beat.
Right. And I mentally prepare myself for whatever. Because you never, it's just, I've never done it. But it's just the fear that I've had scenarios like, oh my gosh, what if I did? Or I've had friends that
and look, let me say this, you will have friends that do everything and never get caught, and you will be the one to get caught.
You try your luck.
I promise you the one to get caught.
Because I be thinking sometimes, and I'm just like, no, you can get away with that, but let me try. So try my luck.
Right. We was just doing like something. One of my friends, she doesn't have good luck. This is just an example, and it wasn't bad. Like we just had this bra in our classroom from some player, something we was doing. So like all my friends put on the bra. The one friend that don't have good luck, she put on the bra. The band director come inside, and he's like, "Why do you have that? Put it back up." And she got in trouble. But it's like, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. It's worth the wait.
Just worth the wait. Okay. So for the new teens, it's worth the wait.
It's
just, you know, bide your time. Yeah. And for parents, you're listening to what they say. Yeah. So
and trust me, if you wait, it's more fun.
Right, and you'll be able to experience it with the other teens, because it's not just you. Your parents not the only one that's straight like that. There's other teens out there. Like when I met my friends, we were pretty much raised all the same way. So it's like we get to experience things together because we're all the same age.
Okay.
Well, and we're also used to it because all of our parents are the same.
Right.
So it's just like, well, we'll just wait together.
Yeah, we'll just wait. Like, so I can tell you, like, hey, my mom said I can't go here. Okay, like they understand. Yeah. Like you have to find that friend group that understands, and maybe the friends that you're hanging out with, they don't understand. Those aren't the friends for you. Okay. Because if they're gonna talk about you, they're not your they're not your friends from the beginning.
They're gonna peer pressure you into doing it. Just sneak out. No.
Like how you gonna make me feel bad about being the kid to my parents?
Right.
Like, no, you can't.
I would say this is wrong. But at least my parent cares.
That's not
because every parent has a reason for why they don't want their child to do something. Now it's up to the parent to tell the child why they don't want them to do it, or just not. But it's easier if you just tell them why, rather than just saying no, you can't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then it's gonna make me want to do it.
Right. Yeah, the child has a better understanding.
And they have a better understanding. Because if you make me want to do it, I'm gonna do it the wrong way. Right. Then I'm gonna get in trouble.
Like so as a parent, do it. I guess I can figure it out myself.
Yeah. Right. Give them a little taste, like extend the curfew and stuff like that. Because once they turn 18, you never let them do nothing. They're gonna go out there.
At 16, if it was you had to be home by 10:30, or even if you just want them to have a little of a taste, give them like an extra 30 minutes out or something. And then you can extend it to an hour, and then you can just go so forth on that. You got to take it in pieces. Yeah. But you can't be like, oh, no curfew.
Especially if you shelter them so much, and then they go to college, it's nothing there to tell them like, hey,
you need to chill out.
You can't do that. Like, no, they gonna go book wild. You gonna get that phone call. You can come get your child.
At that point, sheltered kids honestly are they're in that mode that's like, okay, I'm so used to being under my parents. Like I'm by myself.
So like,
what do I do? And then they do something, and then they go too far, and then something goes wrong, and now you have to deal with not only what you did was wrong, now you got to deal with telling your parents, your sheltered parents, and then it's the whole.
And then their whole thing would be like, well, this is why I never let you do it before. But like, had you let me do it, I would have had some experience.
They come off with as if I told you so, not that. Maybe we should have looked at this from a different way instead of because nagging isn't going to make them feel any better. And then it's just going to make them go do it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I hear you saying for parents to offer little nuggets of privileges.
Right.
As you have a child that's being obedient, or as you have a child that's following your direction or your instruction, give rewards for that.
I was just about to say that, because it's like, if I'm doing what I want to do already, then I can see you cracking down on your child like that. But if I'm like, you giving me little pieces by pieces, it's going to make me follow your directions. Because I want to get that, I want to have that relationship with you. And like, that motivation. So like, I would say, just give me piece by piece.
But first you have to show your parent, like, I can be responsible. Because you can't just say, oh, I've been being responsible and expect you to, like,
you gotta show
you have to show it. There is no.
And then if you don't even want to get them like a nugget of something, just tell them why they can't do it. Just be honest. Like, if you know you had some issues with that, tell them that. tell them that you don't want them to do what you did.
Right.
Like, tell them that. Just be honest.
So I, as a
honestly, telling
parent,
them
need to
your
talk
story
about
might
some
make
things
them
that happened
smarter.
to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you give me your reason and like if you did it when you were young and
yeah.
it didn't end up so well, your child might go back in their mind and think, well, maybe I shouldn't try it that way because it may end up the same way as my parent did.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
and my mom always tell me I can show you how to do it and not get caught. Well, if you gonna do that, you might as well tell me the story because I need to know so I don't do it.
I don't do
Okay.
Yeah.
But she gonna tell you how not to get caught.
No,
Right.
It took moments up to not getting caught.
Right.
Yeah, you had to go.
Because I would be really shocked at the people that just don't get caught right off the whim. Because I was like, whoa, what
look
was
like
that? Like, no. Not everybody has that look.
Yeah.
Some of them will walk through their front door and their parent be sitting right there in the corner.
Yeah.
Like,
With the bill.
Where you at? Like, did you have fun? Be
With the
like,
body.
No, their favorite saying, well, I'm glad you had fun, but let's come on in here and say what you finna do and what you finna
you finna be
get.
in this house for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, oh my
I'm
god.
glad you had it while it lasts.
Exactly.
With a flip phone.
With the flip phone, yes, with the flip phone.
Or no phone.
Right, no phone. No, I had to have a flip phone because I had to get in contact with her when I was at school, so she had to give me something. But that was the worst feeling ever.
When I got the phone
it ain't worth it.
When I got the phone taken and she didn't care if I made it to school, she didn't care if I needed a ride.
I
just wasn't having a phone. Like, if I needed a ride, can I use your phone real quick?
Right. No, I think my mom she gave me my phone because she didn't want the flip phone because she didn't want it to happen. But yeah.
But not everybody's parents are like that. Some of them just be like, you gotta figure it out. You made your bed, now you gotta lay in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to go sneak out. You got caught.
Yeah.
But with parents like that, I feel like you should don't just like push it off on them. Like, you know, it's a difference between letting them get away with something and like coaching them through it. Like I guess that's the best way to say it. So that way, if I did something wrong, don't just say, well, that's your miss, you do it. Help me deal with it. But if I do it again, that's when you're like, okay, I'm done. I've helped you the first time through it, and you went back and did the same thing, and I told you that would have happened before, and you go back and do it again. Then it's on you. Don't
like
get
it's
the
a
first
scenario
time.
like I can tell you as many times. It's up to you to listen.
Yeah.
Now it's all in your lap because I can say it till I run out of breath.
Right.
But it's really up to that other person to be like,
you're really not
maybe I
gonna
should
learn
listen.
until you went through it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It don't really get you anywhere until you experience it.
Okay.
You're like, maybe I really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Okay, so February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and we've talked about social media. We've talked about feeling blue or depression. We've talked about peer pressure. We've given some advice to parents. So all of this coming together is kind of why we have the discussion, because when I was a teen, dating wasn't necessarily the quick thing to do. But now I look at the Disney Channel, and you have they're dating, and so how, what's your perspective on?
It's getting younger and younger.
It is.
Because my niece
acceptance
told me the
of-
other day, she was like, when you get married, the man kisses you on your hand, and like she said, I said, where you get that from? She said, Disney. I said, oh, okay. That's what
At
they
this
teach
point,
you
my
as a
child
kid.
can't watch anything.
Right.
So what's y'all's perspective on dating?
Ooh.
I feel like, everybody has that. When you're younger, you're gonna date and not tell your parents you're gonna date. There's a difference between play dating and then marriage. But your parents say no.
Y'all only talk at school.
Right.
Yeah.
And y'all maybe text on the phone if your parents don't know. But and then there's a difference between bringing a home person dating when you're a teenager. So let's just leave out play dating.
So what is play dating? Like what's the age for play dating?
13.
Like middle school.
So that's play dating?
Yeah.
Well,
for some.
Play
It depends.
Because sometimes play dating end up into real dating if you know that person for so long.
Yeah.
So what are we saying to the 13-year-old? That's the new teen. This is
just
a teenage
just have fun.
Don't take it too
Don't
serious.
take it serious.
Because honestly, you have so much more life to live.
Exactly. Don't be taking it serious.
Don't let him or her pressure you into doing anything. Because especially y'all are so young.
Yeah.
Like,
no matter how much you hurt, no matter how much you hurt
young.
today, wait till you get in high school.
Yeah.
It's gonna be painful.
Right.
It's just painful.
Okay. Bouncing off of that, it will hit you much harder.
Exactly.
Reality will hit you much harder
so
in high school. So do not take the relationship you're in with like 7th to 8th grade, or if it does prosper into high school, but don't ever limit yourself to where it's just like, man, I'm dating this person and I can't do anything, and it's just no. If you're not happy, you don't have to be with them.
I'm not telling you to be a player now. Because you're gonna get talked about if you play the field. Don't play the field.
Don't do that.
I feel like we young. I'm not married to you, so I can talk to other people. I'm not tied down to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we not married, so if I want to talk to other people, I can talk to other people.
Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
I'm gonna tell you.
If you're calling someone your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you gotta be like, I call you the name.
And my brother always tells me, don't live so much in the future. Live right now. Like he literally just told me that not too long ago because I was stressing about my boyfriend, and it's like yes, y'all are dating, but this is high school, college. You have to go out and job. You have to get a career. Like you don't know if this. You might find somebody that got a doctor, driving whoever that makes you happy. Whoever makes you happy. And yes, your boyfriend right now can even make you happy. But don't live so much for I need a house and I need a marriage and I need kids. Like live in the moment.
Don't think so much into the future of with that person.
Right.
Just think of
because you don't know what can happen.
Everything's changing in life, and then if you're like you have your heart set on just with that person, and something does happen, you're just like, what am I gonna do? What do I do?
Like prime example in a relationship, and you've met everybody in his family. I mean, his family love you. Your family love him. If it don't work out, and I'm saying this for now because I feel the exact same way. It's okay. It's okay if it don't work out. Your family will get over it. His family will get over it. They'll move on. But don't stay in it because I'm in too deep. Like it's always a way to get out, you know.
Don't ever stay for someone else but yourself.
Yes, you need to be happy. You don't want to get married to somebody and you're not happy.
And that's applicable up until what age? Because we were talking about play dating, but really
that's not for any.
We gotta merge it.
Dating.
Wait, we gotta get caught up.
Is what applicable? What are we talking? I'm confused.
Like serious dating.
Like we were just talking about play dating, and we got to marriage. Like, how did we?
My question was: so you said don't be afraid to walk away. We talked about early, 6th grade, because 6th grade you're around 8th graders, so you could potentially have a 12, 13-year-old who is boyfriend, girlfriend, air quote.
See, that's like
honestly, I feel like
14. 15-year-old.
Even in serious dating, you still don't be afraid to walk away. Because I mean, if you're just dating, you're not like.
I have no ties.
Like I have no ties. We don't even share. We don't even share a bank account.
The bank account. That's all I have to you. A cute name. You're my boyfriend or you're my boo.
That's it.
Walking the hallway every day.
It's not like walking the hallway holding hands.
Exactly.
And we break up, it's okay.
I'm not losing no money. Right. Not sharing a house.
And if you move on to somebody else, it's okay. Just let me know. Don't cheat on me.
Okay. I
know, like if you see yourself like starting to feel somebody else, just let me know. Just tell me. Don't cheat, because then I'm gonna be mad.
Right.
Because you could have told me and we could have, been done, but now you just leading me on because you found somebody else. And then if y'all don't work out, don't come back to me.
Right.
Don't just stay gone.
It hurts much worse. Just be honest with the person if you're feeling someone else, because it hurts much worse in the end if you just
if you lie and then you cheat. So the best way to handle that situation is to sit the person down. Hey,
and you never know
this is what I'm going through and what I'm feeling. And I'm letting you know ahead of time, that way I don't want to hurt you in the long run.
Right. And trust me, the person that you tell will appreciate it.
Yeah, they'll appreciate it. They may not appreciate it right now. I can appreciate it in the long run.
Okay,
from experience that they're not going to like it right then. But later on, they will come around.
And it's going to be like so much better. Because then once you lie and cheat, it's like we can't even be friends because you lied.
Right.
You burnt the bridge. Yeah. But if you tell me, like, after a couple months, okay, cool, we can be cool. Like, we can have respect. We can do all of that. But if you just lie and cheat, like, bro, you're dead. Like, you're
Right.
dead to me at that point. Like,
At
we can't
that
even
point,
be
it's just like,
friends.
who
Right.
are you?
And you have bad blood.
Yeah, it's
And it's
You
the
don't
fact
want
that
that.
people don't understand it, and the person that they tell is just looking at them. They're like, "You knew what you were doing, but you just refused to tell me."
Exactly.
But and now you want to sit here and get mad at me because I'm having a reaction to it.
Exactly. How you gonna get
Like,
mad?
how you can't get mad at me because you cheated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also,
can't do
don't
that.
take the reaction too far. Like, don't try to put your hands on them. Like,
Yes.
Okay.
Or don't constantly call
Very
me.
good.
That will
Or
make
Or
it
just speaking of
very
putting your hands
worse.
on, if your partner, male or female, because females do it too.
Yeah.
They ain't
That's
just
very
males.
true.
Yes.
Don't put your hands on nobody.
No.
And
just
please, like,
keep your hands to yourself.
Parents.
Do not.
Do
get
not
involved.
tell your son not to hit no girl. If she hit him first,
Yeah.
that's fair
Self-defense.
game. Like,
I
tell your kids to keep their hands to
That's
themselves.
true,
Because
Ty.
if your daughter hits my son, I'm not gonna tell him not to hit you back. You can do a little light push. Don't punch your
we
face.
literally
But-
just had that conversation in my
I'm gonna tell my
household.
kids to keep their hands to themselves unless somebody touches them. You should tell your kids the same. Because
Or
if
if
your
they
daughter
have
hits
a-
my son,
But that's a very
no, because
very hard
girls can
situation.
go because
But
girls can
no,
go
but
to jail for
listen,
that.
because
Like
you can. It's really hard to explain because I was just telling my family about how I felt about it because I was like, if a female, because you can, I used the wrong word. I said they were asking for it, but no female truly is asking to be hit.
Yeah.
Yes, they may go overboard, but as a man, you have to know, or even a male, let's just say male, because you can be young and going through the same situation. You have to know to restrain yourself, because the first thing the cops do when they show up, this is how the best way my mom and them explained it to me. They're gonna arrest your son or your
I
girl
get
or
that.
whatever.
I understand
They're gonna
that.
go for
But
him.
if I got the video, if I got the proof that she hit
it
him,
don't
she
matter.
going to
It
jail
don't-
too.
it
Like
don't
we
matter.
both going
But then
down. I don't care.
at the end of the day, it's a lose-lose situation because
Both y'all going to
both
jail.
of them in trouble.
Right. So like, it's very hard because to me, if a female puts her hands on a man,
That's wrong.
I
you
say
can
she's
get away.
asking for it, because don't put your hands on a male, especially if you
know that he's going to
raised,
hit you back.
or if you know he's raised not to hit a woman, like just don't,
that's not fair.
Don't do that, because you're just egging him to
You're
do
egging
it.
him on.
So it's like I would just keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, just everybody
Honestly,
keep their
just
hands to
don't
themselves.
verbally or physically
Like,
abuse
just
your
keep your
significant
hands
other.
to
Don't do
yourself.
it.
Right.
But my thing with a
Yourself.
man, with a male, if you're put in that situation,
Walk away.
but
If you can
it's
get
not
away, get
always
away.
easy to walk away.
It's not.
My thing is
Follow
try
you.
to restrain her. Don't
Yeah,
put
or
your
that.
hands on her.
Oh, yeah.
Don't hit her back. Don't fight her. It don't need no fledge. It don't need to be no fledge. Y'all fight in the street with a man and a female, because it's just not gonna go good.
they-
No,
They're
not
naturally
not when they're
stronger.
like older, you know when you in preschool and a girl hit a boy in preschool,
Oh,
hit them
I know
back,
what
please.
you mean.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking you talking about.
When you grown, like not when you grown.
I'm thinking you talking about high school.
No, when you young. If she hit you,
Yeah.
hit her back.
None of that.
But I'm gonna tell
But
you,
when you
like,
in
this
preschool,
is-
We're talking about like high school. High school, do not.
When you're in preschool,
Do
though,
not.
I
like if she
get
punch
that.
you, if she punch you in the face, like, and you in high school,
Just shove her.
just shove her a little
Yeah,
bit.
just
Because
shove
your
her.
punch and your punch.
No.
But I wouldn't even say. But hold on, I wouldn't even want to say shove her. I would say just restrain her,
Yeah.
because you think it's a shove, but if she a little old thing,
Good,
she'll fall on the
yeah.
ground
To
and then
her.
it's turned into something
Else.
else. So
But
just
usually
restrain
those are
her.
recording it, so if they got the proof, like it's self defense.
Well, actually, she's not right because with today's time, everything goes on the phone.
So like, if
Which
it's
is-
proof,
Which
you're
is
like,
unfortunate that we
So-
have
Yeah,
people who
sometimes
will
somewhere.
record
The
violence
first
instead of
thing,
intervening.
oh, it's a fight, and please, I hope if y'all in
Everyone
high
pulls out
school,
their
y'all do that, miss.
Cause
Do
that
not
happened a
pull
lot.
out your
Right.
phone.
Like in my high school, like scenario, like a girl would hit a boy and he would hit her back. And everybody would be mad at him. Like, I understand why you're mad at him. He shouldn't have hit her back, but she also shouldn't have hit him.
She hit him first.
Like she threw a whole binder at this man.
A whole binder.
And then she hit him. And then she hit him. I'm
And
like,
it's
it's
the
so
fact
much a
that
dude can take. Like,
all they
yeah.
do, and no one tells her or him that they were wrong. All they do is record it and be like, man,
yeah,
that's really
nobody
bad.
does anything. They just record it.
So let's look at it from that perspective. If you have somebody you got a girl who threw a binder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just go from there. She threw the binder. So what do peers? What's the reaction that peers have? They're in a dating situation and they're
not even dating. They're arguing, and she threw a binder.
So what is your intervention?
I'm gonna be like, hey, like I'm gonna try to calm him down. I'm gonna calm him down.
Honestly, what you need to do is just separate them. Because if it's like if we're standing like this and I throw my binder at you,
I'm not getting in between that. We're too close.
Especially if I know both of them, and I feel like if the male has friends around. They should not be the ones recording and like editing it on.
But sadly, that's what it's come to because at this point, it could be a dude fighting me. His friends will literally stand there and watch, and I'm just and all everyone else was like, oh well, the dude was wrong for that. No, he was wrong, but so were his friends. Because you're a whole male fighting a girl,
and
your male friend should be like, no, that's not right.
Pull it apart,
pull him away.
Yeah, and if it's a girl, pull her apart too.
Either way, they need to be separated. They need to be separated.
I just feel like we should just keep our hands to ourselves.
Yeah,
nobody get nobody. If it's that big problem.
And it's sad because at this point, in today's time, everyone has their phones out. Their domestic violence in relationships is becoming greater, and it's crazy because no one's doing anything to stop it.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to come from. When you have people who you pull out the phone first. I've seen so many.
Yeah. Sometimes that phone do come in handy though for evidence.
I'm not
everybody doing
not everybody. Right. It's okay to have like 2 or 3 people to have their phone, but everyone else needs to be kind of
or people who whip out their phone and instigate.
Be like, get her.
No, I don't like. And while you're yelling, get her, somebody could be separating them.
Right. Exactly. So what do we say to? So we need to step up to the plate and provide. That's called bystander intervention. Yeah. So,
or even if you're like in school and that's happening, I would like. I don't know how times are today, but I know if I would have done it as a teen now, people would call you lame. But the way that things are escalating so fast nowadays, if you see somebody get into a fight. I would not be the one standing around trying to record it because you don't know what's going to happen.
I'm getting away.
And I would honestly go get help like a teacher because you don't know what that person got on them and what could happen next.
Yeah, because at that point the situation is out of your hands.
Right.
You need a higher authority because I can do all I can. But if it starts escalating, I'm leaving and going to get someone of a higher authority because I don't know what that person got going on. If I don't know that person,
like I'll be trying, like if I'm in class and I hear you arguing, I'll be trying to like steer the conversation. Like, okay, it's cool. Like we gonna stop talking about that. And it's cool. Just calm down. Like it's cool.
Just change the subject.
Just change the subject. Mm-hmm. And if it don't change the subject, I'll be like, okay, so are y'all like? So, is it that big of a deal that y'all still arguing about it? Like, it's not that
we need to go get somebody.
Like, do we need to go get somebody? Like.
Y'all need to have those type of friends though, like that do like not egg on a situation. Yeah. Like that's the mediocre friend basically. Is that the right word?
They just want to be entertained.
The mediocre friend that's like not gonna take either or side, but it's like, hey, we're friends. We should not be arguing like this. Mm-hmm. Let's just chill out, change subject. Not the friend that's like, oh well, she's right, and it's like then you're like it's 2 against 1, and then are y'all really friends because you're taking sides?
Right.
And that happens in friend groups, like in big friend groups, you always have that one or 2 people that are just like, no, I think she's right because she's the popular friend in the group, and she's not really looking at the whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I hear you saying risk being the lame-o and go get some.
I will.
I'll be a lame-o.
If it depends on my life, I will.
Well, I'm not even depends on your life, but if you are in the crux of an argument, it's starting to heat up. Be that person.
Yeah. Like, let's chill. Like it's
because the idea of this is to give advisement or speak to your peers or speak to teens. So I hear you saying, be the person to step up to the plate. And
don't be that friend. Don't be that friend that separate and be like, yeah, bro, you need to just go ahead and handle her. No, don't do that either. No, just
be the friend that's like, okay, think about what's going to happen if you do go do this. You'll be in trouble. In school suspension. You're going to go home, get in trouble.
You might get arrested.
It's going to be
you're going to jail.
Like, honestly, if you look down the road, it's going to get worse.
Right, and it's going to be on your record.
This one decision could possibly
and it wasn't even
ruin everything.
And it wasn't even worth it. Like, think about it. Y'all going to be friends. 2 days after y'all fight. So you really just fought her for nothing.
And then y'all gonna be looking stupid because everybody know that y'all just fought, but y'all back friends.
And y'all back friends.
And you done
and then you're really gonna get talked about.
And then, like, my thing, I have one thing to say to teens. Please, don't put y'all business on social media. I don't care who you beefing with.
Because people are screenshotting.
The person, you could be your friend, your boyfriend, your mama, your auntie, anybody. Just don't put it on social media because that's out there. Once it's out there, it's out there for everybody. And you may forget that person and move on, but everybody else around there is still thinking about what they did to you and like how that affected you, or like they're gonna talk about you because you're back with that person after you just dogged them out. Like don't put stuff on social media. Like I just hate when I see like people's information out there, and it's like that's not something you put out there for everybody. If you have a problem with that person, just don't talk to them.
And what I can't stand is that they'll put it out and they'll be like, I don't know why everybody in my business.
You put it out there.
You made it everybody's business. To be honest, if you put it out there, it's my business.
Like, how I need for asking you a question.
About something that you put out there. Exactly. So no. Those people, I just be like, really?
That's good advice.
Did you ever think about it when you put it on your phone?
Right.
And you press send to my
everything is not in for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Some stuff you just keep to yourself. I don't care how you feel. If you need an outlet, write it down in a notebook. Don't put it on social media.
And there isn't even I wasn't thinking about it. Nah,
you was thinking.
You thought it. You clicked on that screen, typed it out, read what you said, and you pressed send.
And you reread it to make sure it was
right. Exactly. So there's a whole process that you can like.
I said what I said.
Right. And then you come back with more mess to the answer.
Exactly. I'm just like, no. There was a whole process where you could have been like, maybe this ain't right.
Right.
Yeah. Give yourself 10 minutes.
But you're that angry, and that's where it comes from. When you're angry, you do dumb things. You do things that don't make sense. It all comes back to just think.
Just be cautious of everything.
Yes, of what you're doing.
Just be cautious.
Everything. Who you deal with.
Because in high school, it's like, once you meet the people in high school, you probably get like 5 people that's coming in new. Everybody that you start high school with, you're going to end it with. Yeah, so whatever you say freshman year, whatever beef you have freshman year, it's always going to come back senior year, and it's going to be worse. Folks going to find more stuff that you put on social media, and they gonna bring it to the table like, hey, you said this.
And honestly, the drama that you have, even if you start out in high school, it's gonna go away. Yeah. Because at that point, you go into high school with a bunch of friends, and you leave out with maybe 3.
Exactly. You leave out with less.
Like you don't put all your business out there for everybody to know, and then you leave school with everybody being like, yeah, she
told me this, and we're not even friends. So I can. But then again, you have to think like, be that friend. Okay, so if you and your friend fall out, and your friend told you so much, be the friend that's like, okay, you told me this when we was friends. So even though we're not friends no more, I'm still not gonna tell your business.
That's the biggest thing.
You told me this in confidence when we were really close. Even though we're not close no more, that's still confident information. I'm not gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna dog you out about it. Whatever and I hope you would do the same for me.
Right, and I don't care how mad you make me, and even if you do it to me, I'm gonna show you what's right. I'm not gonna do it to you. Right.
Like just because you're being the bigger person.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the bigger person. Like you probably hurt me. And I'm probably mad, but I'm not gonna put your information.
I'm thinking something
like, I may be thinking to do it.
Even if you're friends with someone who, per se, someone made them mad. So now they're putting that person who made them mad. They're putting their business out there, and you're friends with them. You need to tell them, sit them down, and be like, you need to take this off social media because I understand that you're mad and you're angry. But tearing someone else down is not going to make anyone feel better.
Trust you
and some other things I see, if you're friends with somebody and y'all don't have to be friends no more, but you go be friends with somebody else that they're not cool with, don't tell them that personal information.
Yeah,
that's between you and
you're starting a new friendship, right? And you're basing it off someone else's drama.
Also, with that, if you friends with somebody and you go be friends with somebody else that they don't like. That don't have nothing to do with a friend that you cool with and they don't like. That don't have nothing to do with them. So y'all can be friends. I don't care. If you don't want me to be friends with them, we can't be friends because you're not gonna dictate who I'm gonna be friends with and who I'm not. Like
if you want, that's a lot of stuff. Easy, I'll just myself and both of y'all.
Yeah, but when that happens, you just have to have your boundaries with them because you know, like, and don't think that just because you don't like them, you're gonna come to me and talk about that person.
Yeah, because you're not.
Because I'm friends with that person, so. don't say nothing around me that's gonna contradict my friendship with the other person. So
don't be but you also gotta be that person that's gotta be like, stop, like no, I'm friends with this person. I understand you don't like them, but I'm friends with them.
I'm friends with them.
Yeah. I don't want to be in
because I would defend you, so I'm gonna defend them.
I'm gonna defend them. Like they don't.
But it's okay to do that though. Like it's okay to have friends with people who are not cool with the other person.
That's cool.
And that's what I don't understand. People are always like that. They're like, oh, you can't be friends with her because I'm not cool with her.
Well, I guess we're not gonna be cool then.
Right.
You not being cool with them and me being cool with them has nothing to do with each other.
Right.
I'm not having to be like, well, first of all, that was y'all's drama, not mine.
Right. I have nothing to do with that.
Unless they show me that they're not gonna be a good friend to me, we gonna be cool.
But honestly, I go based off of what I see. I'm not gonna go based off what you tell me. Because I can go based off what you tell me all day.
But at the end of the day, opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. But I need to see it for myself. Because if you're saying, oh, she's a bad friend, let me see that for myself.
Right.
Because if I'm not seeing it right now, I'm gonna be like, girl, no, she's not.
Right. But if I see it myself, that's a different situation.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, you were right. Yeah. She is a bad friend.
I gotta see it for myself first.
And then I need to know what you did to make her act like that.
Right.
If that's the case. Like, what did you do
that
made her do that?
Because there's that person's side. I know there's like people keep telling me that there's that person's side, it's your side, and it's the truth. Like you're never gonna know the truth because you keep hearing people different sides of the story.
Yeah, and then you got about 14 other people in the story, and it's
right.
like, dang,
it's like telephone.
What's the truth?
Everybody's
like,
I know, but the person who knows the truth. And then that's when I've always told people, I say, you never really want to listen to what everybody else got to say. Because at the end of the day, the person that knows the truth is right here, like next to you.
Just ask the person, right?
Just ask.
Like, how can I answer your question if you don't ask me?
If somebody asks, just be honest. Tell them the truth. Just tell them, even if you don't want to, just think about it. Like, would you rather them hear from you
just
or somebody else?
Or from somebody else?
Right.
Like, just tell them the truth. Just be honest.
Trust me, it'll go better in the long run.
So, to surmise, based what the conversation that we've had, these are the things that I've heard. So, to talk to the peers, talk to your peers, talk to younger teens or up and coming teens, pre-teens, early teens, seasoned teens, and for those teens that are coming out, because even at 19, 20 years old, I was 19 and 20 years old, I didn't have everything together, and I still needed to seek out the assistance of others, not just parents, it's others. So you have great advice and wisdom for your peers. So this is what I picked up on. So be honest, don't instigate, be strong, be an individual, live in the moment.
Yes.
However, think before you post.
Yes.
And remember, you have time for the experience.
Yes.
So don't be in such a rush for life. Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay to wait.
Yes. It's worth the wait.
Okay.
And that's
applicable from any age, from 11 to 49. But definitely for people who have so much life in front of them.
Right.
What were we gonna say?
For think before you post, we don't mean think about who you're gonna put in the spam to go on for people.
Okay.
We mean think about what you type.
Yeah. Not everybody needs to know your business.
Don't be putting people in the spam because you never know who they cool with.
Yeah.
They might send it.
They're gonna show somebody.
So they're gonna go to school the next day. And be
the
like,
first thing they're gonna do
is
call the person who they
talking about,
right, and be like, "Girl, did you see? Yeah, they may not follow your spam, or yeah, you talking about this person. They gonna know who you talking about too. Because if you on spam, you post everything, like everything.
You gonna post everything. You might not put names, but people know who you. People know who you talking about, especially high school.
High school,
it's the same people.
Knows.
Like it's the
everybody
same people.
It's always gonna be that one group everybody knows, and when they talk about somebody, you know
who they talking about. Like
so just because they hang out with each other every day. That's why you just gotta be careful.
Just be careful,
So that's what we need to tell teens. So, and the flip side of that coin is what we need to tell parents.
About what?
About the conversation that we had. My takeaway, what I'm saying, the biggest thing was open communication.
Yes.
So parents need to have open communication with their teens.
Yes.
Parents need to listen to what their teens. Because even though as a parent you may have lived through what they're experiencing, they're experiencing it different from you.
Yes, I was just about to say that your experience may not be my experience.
Right. And even though it's the exact same thing.
Yes.
I wrecked the car, you wrecked the car. But how I'm reacting to wrecking the car is completely different from how you reacting to wrecking the car.
Yes.
Or whatever. And I heard you to say parents need to know that their teen is actually listening. Because as a parent, when I'm sitting there looking at my teen and her eyeballs are going out the back of her head, I still should know that she's listening. That's a hard thing.
Well,
it's
hard to process. Sometimes it's hard, but we're listening. We can't speak for everybody, but we're listening. Because there are some of those teens that are just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just wait till she's done talking. There are some of those, but with those teens, I feel as if you have to let them learn on their own and let them fall, because that fall is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Yep. But you also have to be that parent that's gonna be like, well, we gotta learn from it. Like, you can say, this is why I said this, or this is why I said it that way, but do not come off as I told you so. Because not only do you have a child that does not listen, now you're arguing with your child, and it just turns into a whole fiasco. So let them fall hard and let them learn, or let them. And even if they do fall hard, they'll come back to you and be like, "I see why you said this."
Okay.
So
we just need to be there to reassure them. Guide. Very good. Very good.
Just pick me up when I fall.
And then trust that if you have truly raised your child the right way,
they'll come back.
They will come back and they will do what's right. Even when you think they're not going to, they will.
So parents, that's making that bitter pill.
Yeah. It's a little easier to swallow.
So for any parent that is watching, that they need to know it's a bitter pill, but swallow it, because the medication
it's so much easier.
It's going to be so much easier. So
coming from a child's perspective, we can't.
And offer up rewards. So for good behavior, don't just continue to pound. If I have a 3.9 GPA, don't be so hard on me to get that 4.0.
Because then I feel like what I'm doing isn't good.
What I'm doing is not good.
I'm like, well, Jesus, I'm excelling so well in class. When I come home, it's like I'm not doing that great.
I got 4 A's and you harping on that 1 C. I'm just like,
So
and
know that every child is not perfect. So don't expect don't compare your children either. That's one thing you just don't want to do. Because then it's just, you're like, got this one child on one high pedestal and you're comparing the other child. You don't know how that's making that child feel. And that leads that child back into what we talked about earlier, depression and anxiety and all that other stuff. Because
then their child shuts down and won't talk to them. And then they wonder what went wrong. And then you just look back and say, well, maybe you shouldn't have compared your oldest to your youngest,
or either
your middle to your older,
or to their friends and stuff.
Don't do that.
Don't compare your children. Every child is not perfect.
Okay.
You're not the same.
You are 4, like I said earlier, you are 4 strong young ladies. So, and everybody's not as strong as you. However, if they work to be as strong as you, if individuals who are watching this who may be succumbing to peer pressure, or maybe having frequent bouts of blueness, or are cowarding and they're at the brink of having a breakdown, they don't really know why, and you seem to have navigated this situation very well. What advisement would you have for that person, and then what does the future look like for you? So
to know who you are as a person. Because once you figure out who you are as a person, you know your standards and you know your boundaries. But if you don't take time to learn who you are, you're not going to know your boundaries. So you're going to try everything.
And it's also, it's okay to be different and find that friend group that works for you. Like, even though you want to hang with these friends, and they may have been your friends for however many years, but you outgrow people, and it's okay to outgrow people.
Everybody has their season.
Like, years don't.
It'll be better in the long run, because wherever.
Say that one more time.
Years don't dictate bonds
at
all. Like, you can be friends with somebody for so long, and y'all don't have a bond that I might have with you after 3 months of knowing you. So it's like, time. No, you don't know.
And then with that, the most important person in your circle is yourself.
Yeah.
So you just need to make sure that you're okay first. Because at the end of the day, I'm going home with just
you're
me.
stuck.
Right.
I'm stuck with just me. Like,
And
there
you
is
can't-
no everybody
with
else.
that, you can't please everybody. Like, you have to work on yourself. Make sure, like you said, make sure you're good. You can't try to do everything for everybody else and then you're not taking care of yourself in the midst of it.
Because you're sitting here trying to put everybody else before yourself. No, it's okay to be selfish and push yourself to the front and be like, I need to do it.
That's
This
what I
way.
mean. Like,
Okay.
and then finding yourself is not gonna be like some quick thing.
Oh,
yeah.
It's gonna take time.
Like, it's gonna take time, man. You're gonna have to get by yourself and figure out, like, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You're gonna have to fall. You're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to realize, okay,
It's gonna be hard.
these are my boundaries.
But in
Yeah.
the future,
And it's
gonna be
okay.
so worth
It's
it.
okay.
Like,
So what does the future look like then? If it's gonna take time to find yourself, what does the future look
well,
like?
your brain doesn't stop growing until you're like 25. So, like
It's
a lot of
good
people, like a
medical
lot of people been telling me that, like a lot of
Very.
people have been telling me that, and it's really been clicking. Like, okay, if my brain don't stop growing, so I'm 25, none of this stuff that I'm doing now is really gonna matter because when I'm 25, I'm gonna have so much more information that
That's
I'm
what
gonna
it is.
have.
Like,
Like, I'm gonna
in
have
there.
so much. I have so much time to figure out. Okay, like this is something I can take in 25. Like this is something I can do. Like no. It don't
At
matter
that
right
point,
now.
you're mature. It's also based off your maturity.
Yeah, like
Situation.
yeah, just because
Okay.
your brain stopped growing don't mean you mature.
And
That is
also
very
in
true.
the,
That don't mean
in
you
the
mature.
There's some immature,
Very immature
50-year-olds.
adults.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very.
like
But in the future now, like with what you're saying about how does that look for us, it could be like
Well, I can say in the future, your future will feel and look much better.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you stop. That's what I'm saying. You stop stressing so much. Like I feel like once you let go all of those bad friends, you stop trying to please everybody.
Yes.
You find yourself, and even like you're still gonna have to like. Even though how old you ever get, like you're still gonna always be finding yourself because like things change so much. So it's okay once you let all that stuff go, you'll feel free and like not deal with all that depression and stress. And yeah, you're gonna have some days, but you'll know
That's
like
not every
okay,
day.
this is not my norm. Like I know how I need to get back to myself. Like it makes it easier once you let go all of that toxic stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was about to say.
That's just how we got to take it in today's time. It's just think about yourself. Put yourself first. Don't try and put everybody else before you because at that point you go down into that, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do anything right, I'm sitting here trying to make them happy. No, make yourself happy first.
yeah, and
Because
it's okay like
at
to
the end of
mess
the day,
up.
it's just you.
Like it's okay to take the long path to get where you want to go.
That
Like,
is very true. You don't have to make
you don't
it
have to be
short.
the first person to get there. Like trust
Right.
me, it's still gonna be there when you
Trust me,
get
that
there.
first person, everyone's gonna be like,
They get it,
you've been
and
there,
then-
done that. But that last person, they're like, good
Like,
job.
Yeah.
you really took your
Right.
time. You really got to know like, okay, this is really what I want to do. Like I can
Right.
really do it. Like yeah,
Okay,
it don't
so
take.
live every day to the fullest. That's
Yeah.
why it's
Yes.
called a present.
And live in the moment, like what you said earlier.
Okay.
I like
Alright.
that. I really like that. Like no matter how long it's gonna take you, even in college, no matter how
Yeah.
long it's gonna take you. Yeah, that person got their degree in 4 years, but are they really doing what they want to do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did they
Like,
really
just
take
because
their
they
time?
did it, yeah.
Did
To
you
figure
pick
out what they like.
Did you pick the shortest route because it was the shortest way out of school?
Right.
Yeah.
And now you're not happy with your everyday job, or do you really love what you do and you took the time to make sure that it's
like,
right and you're gonna appreciate it to this day? But not everybody does it that way today.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
okay to take your time. I really
It
like
is.
that.
And it's okay if you don't have time to take. Like it's okay if you have to just jump in and go. Like just realize that you do have to take time out and
For
figure out
yourself.
what you really. If you can't take time out and go to school and do what you want to do, find a hobby that you can do to balance it out. Like I don't like what I do at work on a day like at a 9 to 5, but at 5 o'clock I got me a good hobby that I
Right.
love
That
to
makes
do.
me happy.
Like
Exactly.
Yep.
so
There's
it
ways
don't matter.
around doing anything you love to do.
Yeah.
So don't ever think, oh, I have to just stick with this one thing because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
No, do what you like to
Do what you
do.
Mhm.
Because who knows? Maybe you might be able to quit that 9 to 5 one day and just pursue
And make
whatever
money.
hobby it is and
Right.
make plenty of money off of it. So
Well, that's good advice, but not just for a peer. That's good advice for an adult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as a parent, just find something. Don't forget you.
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try not it's okay to live for you. Like live for you now. Don't live through your child.
Yeah.
Don't live for your child.
Yes, don't live through your child.
Through your child.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Whatever you didn't accomplish, don't push that on your
And
child.
it's okay to make time
okay.
for yourself. Because parents need time for themselves to not just always focus on your child. Because your child, they got their own life to go on and deal with and everything. And you have to make time for yourself to make sure you're taking care of them as a parent.
Yeah.
So as a parent, we need to do what we want to do and not be concerned about what our children want.
No.
Like, I should go shopping just for myself and not have to worry about.
See, you're saying that because you're a parent. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm saying that, like, once your child is taken care of, take some me time out. Like, like, we said what we said about parents listening to their children and everything. Okay, you're a parent, but you're also a human, too. You have to deal, you have stuff going on, too. Yeah. And as a parent, you should understand that you have to take time for yourself too.
I think that's great advice for any parent that's being overwhelmed with like their kids' grades. And are they feeling peer pressure? And do I need to be mindful of what they're putting on social media?
Yeah.
Are they being bullied?
Yeah, when a parent knows that their child is okay, it's okay to be like, okay,
your child's gonna live.
Dial it back because they have all their life to live. You need to
y'all should like. Not saying this to everybody, but I feel like, okay, a lot of people are going through peer pressure, but just because, like, you see it on the internet, every child isn't going through that. Yeah. So, y'all putting that in y'all head is making y'all, like, really worried, that my child is going through this, and they probably not. And
they probably like, are you okay? And I'm like,
is something wrong? Like, should I be worried? Like, I'm good.
Yeah, it really isn't that common as they make it.
It's not, like, if we tell you, then we're telling you, but you shouldn't just go out and see it, okay, this is happening to this child, so it must be happening to my child over here.
Right, that goes back to saying actions speak louder than words. So, because if I look like I'm fine, I'm most likely fine. But if my actions are giving off that whole something's kind of off, then it's okay. But if my mood is like I'm good, nothing's bothering me, please do not come in my face saying, what is wrong? Are you okay? Like, because now I know something's wrong. Then my brain thinking, well, did I do something? Like, hold on.
But I feel like nowadays, back with peer pressure, these kids are like, they are something else. Because I can look at my niece now, and it's like, somebody could try to tell her to do something, she's like, no, that's not right, I'm not going to do that. And it's like, it's a lot of kids that's learning to do that.
That is very good.
Kids are becoming smarter.
They're very.
And that's good with technology.
And they're becoming stronger individuals and not succumbing.
They're becoming independent.
And also they're looking up to us. So it's like it's up to us to show them it's okay not to give in to peer pressure.
Right.
Yes, and that is something that I commend all of y'all on. That y'all are demonstrated that you are very strong individuals and you can be successful and you can stand up on your own thought, because that's very hard. Peer pressure for whatever reason. I'm not saying peer pressure to do illegal things like drinking or shoplifting. I mean peer pressure period. To don't ask for help. You don't want to look like an idiot. You're standing up on your own 2 feet and advising others to do the same thing. So I think that's great. I think that's very positive, and I think that your futures are very bright, and whatever you put your hand to, you're going to be successful as long as you continue down the path of individuality that you're on. I think that y'all are a good example. However, I would advise, like you have a niece or like you have a friend or you have a friend's siblings or whatever, reach back and talk to those younger ones. You got some preteens. It's some kids out that are lost, and you never know what a kind word would do for them, and not just you want to be nice to them and pat their head and woo woo woo. Sometimes kind words are the words that people don't want to hear. Don't do that. You see a kid picking up a brick, getting ready to throw it through a window. A kind word could be, I don't care that they didn't let you cross the street or whatever's going on. Don't put the brick through their window, even though nobody else is looking. So you've heard from 4 strong teens. And I think they offered up some very good information for their peers. I think they offered some very good wisdom for parents. So thank you for joining. Take heed to what they said, both peers and parents. And we appreciate you joining Roundtable Talk, A Teen's Perspective.